All right. See how sounds are going. Looks like everything's good. Should be a little better there. All right, you guys can hear me. That's good. You guys should be able to see me. That's also good. Let's get some of this stuff set up the way we want. And yeah, how's it going, Mohammed? We are working on getting, what are we doing here? This, there we go. All right. G-rotate should be running. Good. All right, so we are working on just hanging out. Savage Skills, how's it going? Yeah, I'm, you know, it's end of the week, so what we kind of do at the end of the week is get stuff running, test stuff out in the lab. I kind of want to try a little bit of getting this Ascender stuff to go, because if we do the Ansible automation course next, that's like the next major one that I want to do. Showing people around Ansible, I've been doing that a long time. I think we have some good labs on Ansible. But if we really want to make it like getting it in the enterprise and like making it enterprise ready, if I can get you guys building Ascender, which is AWX, right? It's a Ansible automation platform upstream. Should be, if we could do that, right? And I said AWS, but I said AWX. AWX, there you go. It should be, I think, pretty... I think that course will be, like, complete. If I don't have the automation part... Well, the automation part of it's easy. If I don't have the orchestration part of it, then it's just going to be another course on, like, playing with Ansible, and I don't really want it to do that. Yeah, Savage Skills, you can ask me whatever you want. In fact, let me put this on here. If you do an exclamation mark ask, it'll definitely ask me something. If you do exclamation mark ask and then you ask me a question, it'll pop up like that. All right. Oh shoot, and there's the wife calling me back. I'll just tell her she can call me back later. Yeah, so let's go try something. Let's go get into one of these lab environments. We're just gonna see what we can get going up. Let's make my users not in the sudo file.
Answer that for money.
All right, so you got a user that's not in the sudoers file. Best thing you can do with sudoers, this is my favorite command that I've ever learned on it, is sudo-l-U and then like a username. So like if I had a user, then I would be able to very quickly see this user can do anything they want in this environment. See, because here's the other things I could do. I could do ID as Champagne and see my user as Champagne, and then see, okay, he's in wheel, and then I can go grep wheel from Etsy sudoers and kind of guess. But sudo-l-U is like by far my favorite mapper for me, because it'll answer all the questions for me. Does that kind of make sense? So hopefully that gives you a good like idea, because instead of having to go and look at the user and look at the group, this is what sudo thinks they have permission to do right here. In fact, in this case, they can do anything they want right here. And well, the one that's, so this is the one that they get from there. So that's the all. That's not as powerful. They need a password for that one, but they also have it somewhere else for no password. So where's that at? If I just were to, let's go see. Oh, I put him in there too. So there's that. So he's getting it applied in two places, from wheel here and then from S Champagne here. But I didn't have to go find that. Does that make sense? For you guys, I just use sudo-l, and that'll apply all the permissions to the system for me. Well, it'll definitely look, trying to do a task with my Etsy sudoers file, look different than what I saw from everyone else. Yeah, so there's two kind of ways to do sudoers. You can have one big flat Etsy sudoers file. I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer using the Etsy sudoers.d. In my case, I'm just doing a very small little thing, so I do that. In here, this is where we tend to drop sudoers permissions and update them. In fact, one of the things I need to do in the Ansible course, and probably in general, is build a lab for Ansible where we go do where I show you guys how I deploy users and put them in sudo permission, give them sudo permissions. That's the thing that I like to do. Yeah, depending on the operating system you're using, we're using Rocky, so we're getting a very Red Hat-ish file. You are probably using something like Arch or Ubuntu or something like that, so you're going to get whatever they get. But the thing I like to do is let the system parse out the information itself. I don't try to do that myself. You're using RHEL? Well, hopefully it looks something like this, because it should. This is very vanilla default RHEL right here. RHEL or Rocky in this case, but RHEL looks like this. Then it's important to note right here that this is a directive, and this is not commented out. Like, a lot of people will see this and think, that's just commented out like everything else. In a sudoers file, this is an included directory. If you want to comment this, you have to comment it again. It even says right here, the comment here does not mean a comment. They need you to understand that. This is still going to be a parsed line right here. If you do not want to include your etc sudoers.d, you have to comment that out with another comment. So that's good to know. All right. So let's go look at this thing I wanted to do, which is here. I'm just going to hop into literally any lab, but let's go in the Ansible ones. And what I was going to do was hop over here to Ascender, and we're going to play a little bit with this installer that they've got. Right. So a little installer script. Installer script right here. We're just going to see what happens if we run this on this environment. We don't need to worry about any of this, so we can move this out of the way. We can make this a little bigger here. And just real quick, paste that in, get clone, Control IQ, Ascender install. And now this is assuming the way we're doing this, that this has that the system has Kubernetes on it, because this is the K3's installer. We have a more robust install of Kubernetes, but that's fine. Let's go into our sender install and ls, and then in here we've got a bunch of information, which I know from reading this we would do a config right here, vars.sh, and it'll ask us, what are we doing? Are we doing K3s, EKS, AKS, GKE? So those are different cloud platforms. We are not doing any of those actually, so we're just going to say 1 because that's closest to our own local install. I just want to see what happens here. Boolean indication whether we want to use a new K3, K8 on-premise cluster or use an existing one. So we don't need to set up a new one. So I'm just going to let that, I'm going to hit enter and let that ride at false. Well, let's say 2. We're using an existing one, so we're going to use an existing one. We'll use an internet resources, so that'll be a traditional one too. Do we just pull images serve as execution environments to run your playbooks? We'll say true. We do want to pull container images to serve as additional execution environments. Sure. Okay, that's a perfect name. That's fine. No. Whether a kube config file needs to be downloaded to the Ansible controller. We'll say yes for that. We want to support HTTPS. So the local node is 127.0.0.1. Perfect. That's the host file for DNS resolution to access a sender. Yes. That's fine installation place. That's fine installation place. Fine installation place. That's fine. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Thanks for the Prime. Hopefully this stuff's kind of useful to you guys. We are just hanging out right now working on the not even the course here. I'm just getting some stuff set up for Ascender. We'll go ahead and use the namespace Ascender inside of Kubernetes. That's perfect. Administrator name for Ascender is admin. That's perfect. The password, let's give them a basic password here. We'll use, it'll be default. We'll use the default my admin password. And then the indication of the version of a sender, that's fine. We don't have any specific older versions we want. Yes, we'll keep that. We don't need any special database. Number of replicas for web container, one's fine for now. We'll keep that for now. And then we'll go from there. Mohammed, you said you shifted your sysadmin project to be a complete setup of monitoring with Prometheus and Grafana, and you really like Unit 910. Nice. I'm glad that worked out for you. The thing about labs is, obviously we have to, make them as accessible as possible. But yeah, I'm glad that worked for you. I know you sent that a little while ago, but hopefully that's useful. Rel 9 default color stuff. How do I find it? Paul, the places I would find it, default color stuff is typically set in ls_environment or environment variables. So I would look for env or print env or set or declare-p. So those 4 things should tell you what your environmental variables are, and that should be able to allow you to go modify that. That's also being set in your dot files typically. So I haven't gotten much into. Oh, you're in Rel 9, so yeah, I know where it is. It's in the dot file still there. Yeah, we'll always pull if not present. Yes. Whether add standard playbooks into sender after installation. True. Whether install Ledger. Yeah, we do want Ledger as well. This is required Ledger. That's fine. Number of replicas for Ledger web container. 1's fine. That's fine. Latest is fine. My admin password is going to be our defaults. So we're going to have all this. All right. So that set up the config for us. That didn't actually run anything. That just set up a config for us. So we're going to go take this, right? And we're going to just grab all of this, right? And say we want that in our notes over here. Whoops. Copy. Paste. Boom. So we have all of what we selected, at least, like all the defaults, and then anytime we chose something. And that may come up later when I go to run this again. I want to make sure that I have the exact same configuration. And actually, we can feed in what we used to call, if you guys have ever heard, like a poor man's answer file. We could actually take all these in a file and just feed the file in as we answer this, and it'll just answer them all for us. Now, if you're going to do that, you could just keep the config file that you have and then use that config file again. So we can kind of play with it. Paul, it's got too many colors. Yeah, the colors get to me too sometimes in this stuff. So, all right, let's go check, see if we can keep going. So once we've got that all, we're just going to do setup.sh. The OS family. So we must run this on one of our lab environments. We're not going to be able to do this over here. So that's interesting. I didn't realize there was going to be that limitation on this. I didn't see that limitation anywhere. They probably do have that limitation said somewhere. I just haven't seen it. It does say right here. Okay. Well, we can't run it inside of Killer Coda then. I was hoping to do it in Killer Coda and give people that as a function or capability. Oh, let's go run in our home lab then. Let's go see what it takes to stand this up, because this may get baked into one of our images, and this may just go, that image is running in the home lab. That's fine. What were we doing here? I don't even know what we were doing here. I think that was from last week, from whatever we were doing. All right, let's start over. Come back over here. Get clone. Super annoying when that happens. Super annoying. Okay, there we go. You know what? Motherfucker. That's annoying right there. Let's just get that downloaded real quick. We also need to rerun our K3s. So we need K3s on here to get this running. So we'll do the K3 stuff, and then we'll do this. And shoot, I gotta go find our K3 stuff, which is, we're gonna stop this for a minute. K3s is in 9. I don't remember how to do it, so I just want to go find the script. It's in our lab for 9. Podman stuff. Maybe it's in our lab for 10. Nope. Don't want the bonus. By the way, all this stuff is out there for you guys in Killer Coda. Killer Coda, sorry, in our environment. It's all there. All right, let's get this. Let's get that started. Let's stop. We gotta stop the werewolf for now. We'll stop the werewolf client, because that's gonna cause a little bit of a problem. Not too much, but a little bit. Need to go stop all that. These boxes are a little underpowered. They're just lab boxes, so they're not like super beefy. I said lab boxes. My stupid ass CC. Okay. Come on, system. Took its sweet time. Painfully slow. We can give them more horsepower, but then, you know, the more we give them, the more we have to pull from some other part of the lab. Come on, system. All right, good, that thing's dead. All right, so we've got Kubernetes running. Let's stop this for now. Just for now, we'll turn that off. And, you know, in our environment, we should be able to run Git pods, Git, you know, whatever things we want to do in our environment. Definitely this thing. There we go. Who knows why Git pods wasn't working? Yeah, all right. Good enough. So let's go to now. We'll do our config vars again, and we're going to do the same thing. We're using K3s, and we're going to use an on-premise one that's here. We can use stuff off. We'll use the internet. We can pull things. That's fine. It's fine. No. Sure. Sure. It's fine. True. Fine, fine. It's fine. Oh, we could use, we can fix a sender later if we want, but for now we'll just leave it. Admin, MySQL, those are all fine. We'll use Ascender 1. If not present, we'll always pull. Sure. We'll install Ledger. It's fine. Okay. So, all that stuff should now be set up. And we can say setup.sh and let's see how this install works. Let's see if it works just out of the box. Because if it does, we can copy that config, run K3s actually we build K3s into our environment so it comes up correctly, and then we can go from there. Colchis, how's it going? We are just going to see if we can get Ascender working on our home labs now. Oh, man. Really? Oh. So, apparently with Ledger, we need more memory. So maybe we need to rerun that without... Let's think about this. How do we want to do this? It's either going to need to be bigger boxes for this part of it, or I wonder how people are. That's pretty big as far as like a EC2 instance or something is. I mean, that's bigger than like your normal EC2 instances for sure. So. Well, let's just modify them for now, I guess. Just we'll do this for now, and then we'll go from wherever. Just give this one box. Shut them down. Just make this one node a little beefier. Be able to change his memory now. $8 gigs. Start him up. We'll give him the old college try for his connection and see if he can get him to, and text the wife back too while we're waiting on him. Okay. Let's watch him at the console. He should boot up. Ping him here. Wait till he comes up. So our steps for this box were, if we can go up and find his damn, it's annoying. Oh, it's because I got ping running. Why does it keep jumping down to the bottom? All right, let's grab this. So our generic steps look like this. It was stop. We need to do that just because the way our environment behaves, guys. Like our environment is set up where all the devices check in every 10 minutes, and we don't want that behavior. So stop that, and then install K3s. Right? Could have sworn it was right there. It is right there. Whatever. There we go. So we'll install our K3s. Right. Then we will download Ascender installer. That is our Git. Pretty sure that's not spelled right, but go see. It should be up soon. There we go. That was a weird terminal error. Okay. Run the setup. CD to. It's just these commands right here. CD to ascender install. Config vars.sh. Once we have that, we don't actually need to make anybody do that again, but then run the installer, which will be right here. Setup.sh. There we go. All right. Let's test our. Okay. So, stop our client. curl-sfl hps get.k3s.io. Hopefully these are all the things we need, guys, right? So anybody that got here a little late, we're just hanging out on a Friday. We're not working super hard. We're just kind of setting stuff up in the home lab. And yeah, Fridays are for messing around, playing with stuff, seeing if we can find anything to bust or to use for the weekend. I got a lot of work to do this weekend too, so this is like my little this is like my little like relaxation before I have well, I have date night tonight, so I guess that's technically relaxation. And then tomorrow I'll be back to work. So I got a college class I run. I've got quite a bit of actual work to do for one of our customers, one of my company Redline's customers. And then I'll be going to let's see, we're running our Linux admin course. We'll be in week 15 of the 16-week course. Again, that's the last one we're running for a while because I think we have like, I don't know, we have between 0 and 3 people still doing it, depending on how you ask. I know we have 160 people that say they're coming to it, but that's not really what it's going. Paul, you said what's the background for dark and VI? Like, are you talking about where I set the background equal to dark? So it's just colon set background equal dark. You can also set that all the time. I'd have to go look at where that is. There's a VI editor setting, and then you can set your editor to always have background equal dark, and that just makes the colors a little easier to look at for people. Because a lot of times, like if I opened up, if I did like a Vim on Etsysudoers, it would be like just the most disgusting blue, and nobody here would be able to read it, right? I'll show you guys what I mean here. It's just, and when I say disgusting, I mean it's just a dark blue that's really hard to see on black. Yeah, you can put in your Vim RC. That's where it is. Yep. So you can set I knew you could set it somewhere. I just don't. I don't ever change. I change it when I'm displaying things for people. But, all right. Yeah, if I Vim Etsysudoers, should be. Oh, we don't have sudos on this box. If we go over here. It looks like that, right? But I'll do that, and then it'll be a little easier for other people to see. All right, what were we doing? So, stop firewall D for now. Oh, firewall D's on for other labs, so I'm just going to leave it on normally. And then what we would do is maybe see that K3s is there. We can, right, and more specifically, right, that one. So install that and then verify. Is something like and then right. It's an easy way to find it. All right, let's go try this. We're just putting our steps together. Oh, come on, really? So we'll git clone it down, cd to a sender, and then config vars. All right, we're going to do one for K3s. We're not going to do a new one. We will use traditional internet resources. Pull container images. Unsure true. So I'm fine with using container images to run and execute. I'm fine with that. That also affects the environments you're able to use inside of an orchestrator. So that's a thing to think about, because you could be pulling your own or you could be baking them. So we'll leave them as they are. Don't have another image. Cube file, we'll get that, sure. HTTPS, and then that's fine. We do want to use localhost for DNS resolution. That's fine for now. Resolvable host name for a sender can just be sender.example for now. I'm fine with that. Admin, password, all those things. I'm fine with all that. It's all fine. One is fine. Always pull it if it's not present. And then standard playbooks can go in there. We do want ledger, sure. That location's fine. Number is 1. It's all fine. My admin password. All right. Then we run our setup.sh. And hopefully it doesn't break all over the place because we gave this box more RAM. So if it does break, it's going to break somewhere further along, we can hope, than what we have now. That's kind of the general goal of this. Again, if this one works, then what we do is we take this and we go throw it off to the side. Verify collections. Oh, we might have collections requirements. Okay. So get the right. Run the setup, run the installer. All right, so we had some requirements we didn't know about. So we had those in. We had those into our little, kind of our notes as we're building this, and then we can kind of go from there. So let it go grab the things it needs. It's looking for things to make sure that they're all in the right spots, and they're not all there, so we got to put them there. It's amazing that I need Azure and Kubernetes and all these ones for things that we're not using. Maybe that's something that I should have went and modified. So look, see how it's grabbing every galaxy that there is? Well, I don't need, I wouldn't need Azure and Google Cloud. Look at all these. And AWS, because I'm not using those. So it's down, this is a default configuration, grabbing everything. I don't think I'm going to need them because it's only probably checking for the ones that I need. However, it is interesting. It did want up here Amazon, like Azure. I feel like I should remove those from the collection, but I don't remember seeing that in the documentation. I would have thought that the configuration would have just ignored them, but all right, whatever. We're going to try it again. We're going to give the setup, and then now we have the files that we need, so hopefully that blows over the top of all that crap. But I mean, That's fine. They're gonna be there still, so I don't care about the warnings. But it looks like we've got an older version of Kubernetes, so it doesn't even matter for that. Let's see. Looks like it got past. Yeah, it got past the things that we were just stuck on right there. So that's good. That's a good little thing to see. Skipping all that stuff that hopefully it shouldn't need. Reset is not implemented. Okay. Doing some Ascender stuff. Perfect. Setting up all that stuff. Using customize. Okay. Waiting for the operator deployment to be ready. Okay. We could be watching this in another window probably, but that's fine. I'm okay with just watching the Ansible scroll by right now. Everybody having a good Friday? What is it? It's Friday, right? It's almost time to be done with the week. I told you guys I'm busy all weekend, but I did that to myself, so I can't blame anybody for that. Let's see. What have we been doing? Mostly decompressing from being back from vacation, you know. And shoot, it's almost the end of July already. It's like you turn around and July's over. It's already almost August. So school's starting back up for the kids. So that's interesting for them. For us, less so. Although we do have a school directly behind my house over there, like directly behind us. You might say, well, what does that matter? Well, it gets pretty loud around recess, but that doesn't really bug me because I'm inside. But in the early mornings and in the afternoons, there's like this time where the parents like way overflow the school. So they all come into the neighborhood to drop their kids off and go walk with their kids. It doesn't really bug me much. It's just like a thing that happens for like 30 minutes a day in the morning and 30 minutes at night. Again, I don't really care that much. It is funny. There are signs in our neighborhood that tell them not to do it, but you know, what can you do? People got to go get their kids, I guess. So you just think schools, you know, they have all this space. You think they'd have more, you know, get everybody in and stuff, but goes through with paintball gun. No. I don't even joke around about that because that'll definitely get you in a lot of trouble. All right, what happened? Exception occurred. This built-in file could not locate the file and look up root ascender CRT. Could not locate a file root ascender.crt. Well, it's not there, so that makes sense. I guess they expected me to make one of those. So I mean, I guess I can go sign those certs for it and give that, but I mean, it's interesting that that's not part of the when you're setting up the install. It doesn't say. Where's it at here? So you just run it and everything works. Literally nothing else in there. So bundle. You would think that if Ah, it's my own fault. It's because I said that I wanted TLS, so we'll skip it. We'll do it without the TLS, and see if we can. We'll do it without the TLS, but otherwise for TLS I am gonna have to make that. That makes sense. I thought it was gonna generate it all for us, but that's fine. That's my own fault. So let's do basically the same thing. On-premise cluster. Use the internet. Use container images. That's fine. No more images. Configure that. We'll use. Yeah, it does say that requires SSL certificate already to be there. That's fine. We don't need that for now. We'll use Etsy hosts. We'll do that. That's all fine. It's fine. Always present. Sample playbook and just sender. Sure. We'll install Ledger. Good. All right. Give it the old college try again. Should give the kids laptops with Linux installed. Yeah. I hope their parents appreciate it. Also, I guess we got to see if we can update our. So if the Google Cloud, all of these don't support 2.14, I know 2.16 is out. Maybe that'll work. I could update that. But for now, let's just see how this install goes. Those things were already there, so see they're all green or being skipped because they're already there. Let's see what happens here. All right, so we've been past all this. AWX operator with customized, we've done all this. Yeah. Nightbot sitting there telling you guys that we got a Discord you can go hang out in, so that's good. And I said they bought. I said Nightbot. Man, I'll tell you, I'm like screaming in this microphone and this thing can't tell what I'm saying. All right, we'll let a sender come up, hopefully, and then we'll see. Yeah, I did talk about having that. It also shows how you can go get them for free or for pretty cheap with Let's Encrypt. Trusted certificate with certificate authority. You can also sign them internally. We make CRTs in some of our labs. It's not super difficult to do, but we don't need that right now because we're not using that now. And let's see if this comes up, and if it does, we'll go ahead and see if we can connect. And we'll actually end up just connecting directly to all right. Other than that, what do we got going on over here? Leave this running. Go rotate, can start rotating through again. So, yeah, if any of you guys have questions about the course, again, the Linux sysadmin course we're not going to run again this year probably. There's just not enough interest in it. We'll probably do the security engineering course again. Although we did only have like 5 or 6 people finish it the last time, so I wouldn't say that I would really consider that a lot of interest either. So we'll just keep building what we can and, get through whatever. The next courses we're going to run are going to be the automation course, which this may be a part of. getting a sender set up, and then running it as an orchestrator in our environment. That may be part of it. That's a big like admin task, being able to set something like this. I mean, that's even more like architecture and engineering task. Get one of these things set up, and then you can connect different people in your organization to using the automation, and that really frees up your admins and your engineers for other stuff. So we'll see. Man, I'm yawning. I don't know if it's just because it's Friday afternoon or what, but I am beat. All right. We got going on over here on YouTube. I need to move this chat where I can see all of the chats. There we go. That may be a good way to do this in the future. Yeah, see all the chat there. That's pretty okay. It may take up to 10 minutes. All right. While that's happening, go over here. Let's just do what's going on there. So it looks like some Ansible's running, so that makes sense because it's Ansible over here, right? And we could do a little bit of this. Whoops. So then we can just keep an eye on that while we do some other stuff over here. So here's Control IQ. This is the config. So this is really where main stuff is grabbed from. Let me go pull this up and put this here. Install instructions are over on this other page over here. Right. There we go. Cook said I spent the last hour trying to install Linux on my laptop, 3 separate USB drives, followed by troubleshoot. And for the model, I can't fucking get it. What? Oh, Acer? Yeah. I guess it depends too what you're trying to do. Like, you're not trying to save the base install that's already there, right? The likely Windows that came with the factory or whatever, because that's a little bit of a hassle. And then Acer Nitro, yeah, I would just go make sure there's not something blocking you on there, some kind of security thing you need to have to reinstall. Vortex over on the YouTube side, how's it going? We are just watching our system build right now. Trying to see if we can get a sender to work, and so a sender is a tool by CIQ, the same guys who do Rocky and Werewolf, so tools that we often use. Also Aptainer tool that I may be using more in the future. And what we're doing is we're letting the installer run right now. These are our general steps over here that we've been through. We're actually sitting right here spinning, right? So this is where we're spinning right now here on running the installer. And we're just kind of keeping notes as we go on things that we've done in the lab and things that we've changed. And then our next part will be, once this comes up, we'll go into the next set of the steps, which are, I don't know, over here somewhere. And make sure that, yeah, we'll make sure that we have the ability to get in there. See if we can connect over there. So we'll connect over to that machine and do whatever we need to. Give that a second to come up. How's it going, Kevin? Over on the YouTube side, we are just Friday afternoons. We don't work very hard. I'm kind of ramping down for the weekend. I have a lot of work to do still this weekend, but I'm just building. We're building a sender into the lab to see how it works, see if it'll get connected up, and the box we have it on isn't super beefy, so I don't expect this to go very fast, but also I don't expect it to take, it says it may take 10 to 20 minutes for a sender to come up, so you know, this might be a good go, you know, drink them, smoke them if you got them, whatever kind of stuff you guys want to do. I might grab a drink here in a second. And then, yeah, so this is what we're working on. Again, just playing around in the lab, not working super hard right now. Colchis, you tried Ventoy? I don't even know what that is. Normally, yeah, what I would do, Colchis, normally is, yeah, just get it on an installer, make sure that the installer is good, make sure that the disk is bootable, and then pop it in and see if you can get the... That's also a good point. Not all the USB ports are created the same. Some are, there's a priority to them, so that's good. Is it at least getting to an Anaconda installer? Is it at least booting into whatever installer message you expect? Those are all things that I would be checking. But yeah, in general, that's a little crazy that's giving you all that. I might have to go grab a key for this because I actually don't know what the root user. We'll have to set the root user's password just for this test. Because normally I don't even use root. Like there's not even passwords on my root user to be able to get in remotely. So if we're gonna set that, because I can do that off a Windows machine even into our environment, I will need to know that password. And then once I do that, I can just go right to my local machine. And that'll be HTTP for us because we didn't use HTTPS. All right. Here's what we're going to do while we're waiting, because I got a minute. Let's do a quick turn off my camera, and I'm going to say hourglass. And we're just going to say quick break and hang out. Quick break and wait for the system to come up. Say 8 minutes. Also, I thought about, we could have had a Lily cam, because even though Ranger's gone, right? Ranger's not around for Ranger cam. Lily was supposed to come over, which is his kind of like his cousin. We've got other dogs in the family, and some of them are going to be out. So some of the family members are going to be out. So we were going to have Lily for a day and a half, and I was just going to put on the camera on her. It's funny, she's much more active, so she might have run into it, but I still think it would have been funny to put a camera on her. And but I don't think she's coming over. It sounds like the wife's doing something else, so, or she hasn't messaged me. So I'm going to go call her and see what the deal is. So, all right. 8 minutes on the clock. I will be back. Take a break if you guys want. And hang out. We're talking shop. Talking about getting into Linux. So if you guys want to do an ! Discord over on the Twitch side. On the YouTube side, it's down in the description. So feel free to, you know, hop in the Discord anytime you want. We are at almost 4,100 people in there too. So, all right. I'm restarting my break because I'm still talking. All right. I'll be right back. Let's see if a sender comes up correctly. Oh shoot, Lily is coming over. All right. So, apparently I gotta go get ready for Lily. All right, guys, I need to restart my timer. I'm gonna get the Lily cam up. So it's gonna be like Ranger cam, but it's gonna be for Lily. I'll be right back. All right, I'll be right back, guys. New dog's coming to hang out. Give me a second, then we'll turn the camera back on. So I'll be back. All right. So, let's see. I never actually took anything about Ranger Cam down, except for Ranger's. Where are we at here? Sorry, I'm running up and down the stairs. Should be. Damn it. All right, there's going to be Lily Cam. We'll get a little more set up, but maybe we need to edit that to be called. Hold on, let's stop our go rotate for a second, and just for now, we'll call it Lily Cam. So Lily's gonna be hanging out downstairs with me and the wife for the day, and it's date night, but Lily's part of date night. So Lily is Ranger's cousin, but not by blood, just by family. So it's actually my wife's parents who have Lily. So we will get Lily in here, and I'll put the other Ranger bed back out too, maybe. So yeah, we'll have to get Lily going. Yeah, she is much a billion times more active than Ranger. I think she's about 4. Is she even 4 yet? She might only be 3, guys. I'm not gonna be surprised if she comes over here and knocks this camera over just looking around, because she'll whack her tail against it. She is a much more active dog than Ranger ever was. Well, I mean, when Ranger was younger, he was pretty active. So we're still waiting for this API to come back up. Looks like it's Only about halfway through. Yeah, we're down to not even quite 100. Yeah, she's still a puppy. She's full size though, so and she's a white German Shepherd. So the wife's parents got her from California. Actually, they went out and got her. So she's a good-looking dog. She's a good dog. She really enjoyed Ranger. She always hung out with him. In fact, a couple days after Ranger passed, they came over just because I don't even remember why they brought. Their AC went out on their house, and if you guys know, in Arizona, you can't like hang out like in Phoenix. You can't live in a house that doesn't have AC. It's way too hot. Their house was over 90 degrees inside within a day. So they came over here and hung out while the AC was getting fixed. That was like right before we left for Mexico. The family was over here. So, anyways, yeah, it should be good to see her hanging out down there. Start the rotation back up. I'll go put the other bed down there here in a little bit, but because the wife's dad texted me and said he's on his way, so that means he's not too far. And then we keep her over on that side of the house, so it's good. She's got a big doggy door to go in and out of, although she's very scared of it. She needs to like get better at pushing in and out of the doggy door. And then we got a bedroom down there where the wife's like, I'll just stay down there by her tonight. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great way to end off date night. Anyways, I'm just kidding, but no, the wife might hang out by her, and then that'll be good. All right, so I'm back. What are we doing? We're waiting for a sender to come up. That'll be a fun little lab if we get that part of it set up, and then we'll be able to use that for the different pieces. You guys can still use !ask to ask me stuff. That's one of my favorite little memes and emotes. But yeah, Colchis, I would tell you the thing is, I mean, I don't even know as much about modern motherboards. Like I haven't built my own computer outside of like a data center in years now, so I wouldn't even know. Like I imagine if everything's turned off and you have access and you know it can boot off a USB. Yeah, I don't know what else would be, because typically, you've got like the break sequence for like an individual boot, just bypassing that, or controlling all future boots, and then you tell it to go off of like a USB or something. If it's seeing the installer and you've tried three different systems or something, because you've eliminated the USB. Hopefully, if you're using like an etcher program or something, you've eliminated that by using a different one of those. That's not just bricking your USBs like some of them do. Yeah, I don't know. I guess after that, I would see if I could install anything. I would see if I could reinstall the normal OS, right? Because maybe there's something else that you haven't thought about in there. I don't know. I do so many of these installs where I just have things pixie boot that, yeah, I don't even know. I'd have to think about that. I'd have to go look at I'd definitely look at the motherboard manual, and then see if there's any things online. I'd imagine if you're having a problem with it, somebody else has had a problem with it. So it's one of those type of things. Especially if you have an what was it, an Asus? It was Asus. What version did you say it was? I don't know where that is. Yeah, I can almost guarantee that somebody else. Acer. It was an Acer. Yeah, I'm sure somebody else has seen that problem. So Stack Overflow, one of these other Googles. No solution posted. Yeah. That's the types of things that I'd think about are. You've eliminated USBs individually, but have you eliminated the etcher, whatever tool you're using to actually get that? Are you sure whatever you're doing is bootable? We don't always have another piece of hardware to try it on, but could we boot it on something else? Yeah. There may be a setting in your BIOS that doesn't allow it. That's very possible. But you said you turned off any secure boot or any of that kind of stuff. There's a tool. This is different. This is inside of Linux systems, but there's USB Guard, and you're not that far along though. But use DD, use Rufus, use Vento. Okay. I use like Balana Etcher or something. Balana Etcher, I think it is. Balana, which I always think looks like banana, but I think it's Balana Etcher. I use that one, and that one works pretty well. think it's taking a long time, but it seems like it's within whatever the normal time for a sender API to come up is. By the way, I can go over here and I can turn this on too. Where's our dark reader? Let's make dark reader possible. Boom. I think people like dark reader more, and then we'll see if we can get see if people like Lily as much as they liked Ranger. Lily's a very active dog though, so like she's been over here a lot though in her life, so she's not gonna be like so agitated, especially since the wife's dad is just coming and dropping her off. So like I could see that being pretty agitating for a dog. They just get dropped off and then left. But I'll go down and hang out with her for a little bit, and she'll feel pretty good. She's known me for a long time, so I mean, pretty much she's known me her whole life. You know, I'll go over there and hang out with them and stuff. Yeah, Colchis. Yeah, get a workout in. That'll knock it out. I have 5 days this week, so all 5 days this week I did jiu-jitsu. I almost broke my finger this morning. This finger got caught in somebody's gi. I've never broken a bone in my life, but this finger got caught in somebody's gi and it got pulled out like this. It actually ripped my little silicone ring off. If I hadn't been wearing silicone, I could have degloved my finger. But yeah, it ripped everything up and my finger got stuck like this in their gi. It almost broke my finger, so a lot of pressure. It still hurts a lot. I can't really type with it very well right now. But anyways, my point is I trained all 5 days this week, that's a pretty good amount, Colchis, for that. So yeah, go get your or not your wrestling. Go get your weightlifting in or whatever you're gonna do, your workout. It's always good. What else do we have? So we're waiting on this. We could do. Oh, I could show you guys this. We have quite a bit of down in our Discord. The bot's down, so the bot's not introducing more people, I don't think, right now. Yeah, it's not saying hi to people right now. But you guys are always welcome to come in there. Normally the bot will introduce itself to you and say hi. We've got a bunch of events coming up. Tomorrow there's a Bash study group. Sometimes they move it, but they always let you guys know. We've got the Linux sysadmin course tomorrow, so we'll be in Unit 15 of that. We're right at the end of that, so that's coming up. Admin study group, again, you know, there's study groups all throughout the week. You guys can set them up. You guys can be in the channels doing whatever you want as long as you're not interrupting other people. So there's an admin study group. And then starting in August on the 8th, 9th, and 10th, we're going to have a whole bunch of guest speakers coming. So we have people, you know, I'm going to come talk, which, you know, you guys hear me all the time, so you probably don't think anything of that. But then we're going to have Timodius come and talk about data analytics. He's got a master's degree in it, and he's been doing that for an insurance company on multiple $150 million plus projects, so he can talk to you about that kind of stuff. One of my buddies that works for the Space Force is going to come and talk to you about operations and red teaming and that kind of stuff. So he's going to talk about security, and he does a lot of operations and red stuff against adversaries, and he'll talk about that a little bit and how to get into that space, what technologies he uses and stuff. I'm going to let him edit how much he wants to put in there about what he does, because he is still active. Salty Catfish, some of you guys have known him. He's been a lead software engineer the whole time I've known him. I've worked with him professionally 2 different times. He's very good at what he does. He does ham radio. He does a lot of the same stuff that I've done in my time. So that's all day one. We got a lot of people coming day one. It doesn't show a lot of people here yet, but I'm telling you, we typically have a few. When we had 1,000 people in the server, we had over 100 people in here. We have 4,000 people now, so we should have quite a bit of people in there. What is it? Then we have in day 2, Leith is going to come tell you guys about Terraform and Proxmox. So a lot of you guys like playing with Proxmox. He's going to come talk about that. Control Byte's going to talk about DevSecOps, which is something that he works in. And he's going to talk about operational activities, but without all the buzzwords. He's just going to focus on the activities and stuff. And Control Byte's been with us for a long time. Data and e-commerce is going to be Jared. This is actually the lunch break. I had to squeeze Jared in over the lunch break. He's come and talked to you guys in the group, if anybody that's been around, probably 5 or 6 times over the years. He is a very good data analyst and architect, and he's the reason that the bots follow you around down the internet. So ads and stuff like that, that's part of what he does. He does it for a very big web e-commerce platform, and he comes in and he talks about like good bots and bad bots and how they track things. So he does that all through Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager. So people that specialize in that, that's that. All these talks are free. You guys can come to any of them. Again, they get pretty big. Like, we'll fill up the Discord for sure and try to break it. Sending Grounds is going to come and give us a talk. You guys that know Sending Grounds, he streams sometimes. And the thing about Sending Grounds is he works for Fang. He's in Fang. And he's been there for, I think he just hit 8 years. Is that right? 7 or 8 years, which is a long time in Fang. He excels at what he does. And this talk that he originally gave us, this will be like his 3rd or 4th time giving this talk to us. He has also done internal to his company now from this talk that he's gave us. And he has done it for over 1,000 of those Fang engineers at the same time. So he and I were talking about the other day, and he's had really large groups of people come to his talk within this really big company that does cloud and infrastructure type stuff. Okay, so he's going to come and talk about his thing's really cool. It talks about like if you're just building a tool for yourself, if you're building it for the team, if you're building it for like maybe your infrastructure group, if you're building it for the whole company, or if you're building it, productionalizing it out to the world. And he talks about the levels of documentation and hoops and architecture that you have to jump through. So that's an excellent talk. I mean, for free, that's one of the best. I mean, any of these talks are great for free, right? But his is particularly good. So, and then programming with King Buns. Guys, I think I just got a knock at the door, so let me go check if Lily's here. I will be right back, guys. Let's see. When are you in charge? Colchis, you're in charge till I get back. Right. That wasn't them. They're not here yet. But we are on Lily watch, so Lily will be here soon. All right. Where are we at? Okay. So then, yeah, King Buns is going to come. And then we've got a talk at the end of the month. This is unrelated. And we're going to have a professional pen tester come in. He is, his company's actually hiring for a couple people right now. I see him on LinkedIn every now and then trying to get more people. And I'll let him tell you as much about himself and his company as he wants, so I don't try to put too much of that out there. But here's some of his certs: OSCP, GPen. I don't even know what GPen is, and CISSP. Typically, when they're hiring people, I've seen them looking for OSCP. That's one of the things that his guys always want in his organization. I will tell you one thing about him. So I had like the first batch of college students I ever taught, he was in that group. So 17 years ago, he was in college with me. Oh, they just got here. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm on the last one, but I'll be right back. It's open. Come on in. It's open. Alright guys, sorry about that. So here's the trick. The question is, and the trick is, will Lily figure out... Lily's a good dog, but she's kind of a dumb dog. And what I mean by that is, she needs to figure out how to use the doggy door. She doesn't have a doggy door at the other house. We got a huge doggy door for Ranger. So let's see if she went out. Let's see if she makes it back in. I'm kind of curious. Is Lily going to make it back in the house? So we'll keep an eye on her. Doesn't look like anything's happened since I was gone, so that's good. These are the events. They're free. You guys can go and do whatever you want with them. Just don't crash them. Like, go in the event, follow along with whatever's going on. Just don't. The only channel problems we've had in this whole time we've run a Discord are when people can't figure out like these very simple things where it's like, well, let's just I gotta set that up. That's what the problem is. So let's see if we were never gonna see that come up locally, but is that going to get NS get all, let's just get see this. So we got that running. We see the AWS metric service and the controller manager and the operator controller. So we've got these and we've got this IP. So presumably we can hit that IP on port 80, right? Default port. We didn't change anything. There's Lily. Look at her. Look at that. Watch her hit it immediately. You guys see her? Lily Cam is operational. She oh, whoa, I gotta tell. Hold on. I gotta tell them she came back in. All right. Lily has figured out the door. She can go in and out as she pleases now. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Curl. What's going on here? I have port 80 is the default, so that should go. Metric service. Manager. We've got. There she is. There she is, wandering around. Good old Lily. She gonna figure out how to lay on Ranger's bed? Only time will tell. She still smells Ranger on the bed, I'm sure. And her and Ranger were good friends. They played quite a bit over the years. Operator controller. So here are deployment services. Here's our pods. Here's our deployment. Replica set. So deployments control replica sets control individual pods. We know all that. Service. That one has. Oh! That makes sense. What is it? Dash. How do we ignore the dash I insecure? I always forget how to do that with curl. Dash T? I don't know. I don't remember what it is. You guys probably know, but I can't remember right off. Oh, dash K. Where's this other thing at? Let's see what this variable is. Sender app service. Yeah, I don't see that one either. Did that one not ever come up because of the failure? Yeah. So never saw the API come up, so it never ended up getting all the way in there. Agalord said, how's it going? Things are good. We are hanging out. I've got Lily downstairs, which is, she's not our dog. She's the family's dog, the in-laws dog, if you care. And she's walking around downstairs doing whatever she's doing. And I should probably go check on her in a little bit. But what I want to do here is make this full size. It's a little easier to see. Okay. Here. Let's go over here and let's say, what was it? Extender.example.com. Is that what we had called it? Let me go find that. Oh yeah, we ran out of time on that, but that's fine. Hold on. Go find this. That's Sifs and Samba. That was something else I was working on earlier. So back here. Oh, yeah, here's the error. Hold on. Yeah, sure. Okay. Sure. Let's give this install a setup again. Give the setup a try. See if it goes. The infamous hacker got your computer. Oh man, if they can get it, they can have it. That's always the rule for me. I'll just go do something else. Speaking of, I had something come across my LinkedIn a little while ago. Somebody was looking for like a quality assurance engineer, and I think like a lot of people do Linux because they enjoy Linux, and a lot of people do maybe they get into DevOps or security because they enjoy that, but they're also focused maybe on Linux as a base. And one of the things I was thinking of is, you know, all that stuff I'm always showing you guys with like Six Sigma and total quality management and those kind of methodologies for making things better. Those have specific jobs with them. So if people are interested in that kind of stuff, we do talk about that down in the Discord a fair amount, like how you can go get, I mean, there's free certs you can go get. There's things you can start to learn about that. And you guys can see, you know, like how much that interests you or you know, people, because everybody's always looking for work, right? Like, well, not everybody's always looking for work, but this is a hard economy right now and people are looking for jobs. And yeah, the Six Sigma white belt's free. So is the Six Sigma, what's the other one? It's the other Six Sigma, which for some reason I can't think of right now. But anyways, we got them right here in the Discord. We're always showing the beginner start here. And it's the Lean Six Sigma. So yeah, there's Six Sigma and then there's Lean Six Sigma. So you can go get white belts in both of those. And you say, what does the white belt get me? Well, it has something on your resume if you don't have anything, right? So that's kind of good. Also, Control Byte, you're here. We were talking about stuff earlier. Let's see. Yeah. Control Byte, you're doing DevSecOps without the buzzwords. So yours is got the best title apparently because yours is growing the most as far as people interested. But I've been telling people to go and look at these and find things that they want to be alerted on at least. So that's important. Let's see if this we're done past all this stuff, but let's see what happens. You're on travel that weekend. Hopefully hotel has good Wi-Fi. Well, I mean, you could always move it to another time, Control Byte. I mean, you could always do it. We've got other people talking later in the month, but it's just that's the weekend that we have the. That's when we're having the actual big events. So hopefully people can be there for that. That would be good. All right, guys, this might take a little while, and I probably should go check on Lily, but let's call this. I did a little over an hour. It says an hour and 40 minutes, but we were kind of messing around with other stuff. Main things to focus on, guys. We've got the courses running, but they're maybe going to be hard for some people to catch up with. So you can always just go do the courses. There's a lot of material out there for you guys. It's all free. I need to re-record all the Socratic Linux stuff because just the background on that's terrible. So I got to redo all that. And then what else are we going to do? I'm updating all the home lab and all the ProLUG lab stuff so you guys have it. I'm going to be updating quite a bit of stuff inside of Killer Code. I'm going to try to get us over 100 labs just as like a fun little thing. I was trying to do at least one lab a month, but I kind of miss out on it, so we'll do that. Agalord, you won't be able to see Discord there. You have to see it down on the YouTube side. You got to see it down in the description of the video, so you should see our Discord link down there. For some reason, even though I have that in StreamerBot, it doesn't have that showing up. Yeah, Control Byte, that's true, man. And I think that's a good perspective for people to see because I can tell people stuff all day, but they're so used to seeing me that they forget that I sometimes know what I'm talking about. So if somebody else can come in and tell them a little bit about that, and it's like everything's buzzwords, everything's, it's agile, and then it's safe agile. So like we're not even doing agile anymore. Now we're doing safe agile, and you're like, well, we didn't even get agile down. Now we're going to safe agile, so we can do that just as wrong as we were doing everything else. And it's like, why don't we focus on being masters of one thing? I remember when I was doing all my Six Sigma stuff in the early 2000s, and I was taking all that and learning everything about that total quality management. I found out that like in Toyota circles, which Toyota is really well known for their quality, and then it's scaled agile or safe agile. Yeah, I heard that there was this thing that like the Japanese use for American companies called chasing the white rabbit. Now, the white rabbit is cool because of the movie The Matrix, and it's like, follow the white rabbit, and it's cool and stuff. But if you've ever watched a dog hunt, a dog will go out and chase a rabbit, and the rabbit will go like this, and then the rabbit will go back like this, and then the rabbit will go back like this. And rabbits just tire animals out, and then they'll go to a bush, and another rabbit will jump out. And if you've ever seen a dog that hasn't hunted before, that dog will be absolutely laying on the ground tired in like 10 minutes. Look at Lily over there. Lily's on camera. Lily's gonna, I guarantee she knocks this camera over. This dog. There's Lily. White German Shepherd. Just smelling everything. She can go in and out now, so she knows how to use the door. Because I let her go outside, but it's like 100 something out there. So she's not going to be outside too long. But yeah, that's Lily. She's good. She's a good dog. Her and Ranger are about the same size. I'd say she's probably a little bit lighter than he was, though. But yeah, you guys got to see some Lily Cam. I did even change it up there at the top to Lily Cam. She's only gonna be here till tomorrow. Then she's going back over to the other family. I don't even know why we're watching her. I think they're going out of town or something, and they're like, well, my wife was gonna go watch them at her house, but I was like, that's gonna mess up date night. So she's like, all right, well then we'll just have Lily over here, and I was like, all right, Lily will just come hang out with us then. So I can see her walking around in the tile. I just saw her shadow a second ago, so she'll be around. Yeah, so anyways, what else are we doing? Yeah, and again, not to shit on people that are, their companies are, but companies are always doing this next thing, and it's like, why don't we like focus on being good at the thing that we do? And I remember I learned back then that like Toyota will walk anybody through their plant, and they will show them anything they want. And the reason they do that is because they know that nobody's going to be able to get to their level of quality that quickly. It takes years and years and years of this methodology to get there. So I think I'm going to bring that other bed out there too, because that room is so big that bed just looked like a tiny little thing. You guys are only seeing half the room there. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if the API comes up. This may come up a lot faster this time because now it's using ascender.example.com, which is a locally resolvable IP address now. So I'm hoping this comes up a lot faster here, and then it configures the rest of the stuff. But let's see. I hope. And then we might have to do the same thing with Ledger too, because Ascender and Ledger work together if you want them to. And I did put Ledger in, but ledger.example.com isn't there, so let's put that. I hear her whining. I think she wants me to come hang out with her. All right, guys, we're going to leave this here. I'm going to go put this on our end of stream. I will see some of you guys later on this week. We'll be down in the Discord hanging out, talking shop, working on stuff. Make sure you guys keep working on getting better at Linux, getting into Linux. Let me know what you guys need help with. let us, down the Discord, just ask questions. We try to be an approachable kind of community. We don't have all the answers, but a lot of us have a lot of experience, so we can at least point you where we think you need to go. So, all right.